way. And if you don't have a blazer right now, you see this brother here, you can set that right now. When we dismiss, brothers, we have spare blazers in the main office. You guys got to remember to, before you go into your advisory class, just drop by and take one. All right? So when we dismiss after Lyceum, go get a blazer from the main office. All right, so let's make sure that we do that. Okay, let's get it rolling. Here you go.
Pledges. Please stand.
Please stand for the pledges. Pledge to the United States flag. I have pledged allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God,
One and indivisible.
Mission.
Develop young men into impactful leaders in the development of the intellectual, moral, physical, social, and emotional skills for the global society of tomorrow.
Vision.
The school of today for tomorrow's leaders.
Motto.
Believe, achieve, succeed.
Core release.
Engagement, encouragement, exposure, environment, excellence.
Student core.
Academia, brotherhood, character, perseverance, service.
Creed.
We are the Barack Obama
Leadership Academy. We believe in transformative powers of knowledge and wisdom. We believe that success is brought about by perseverance, not chance. We know our actions are rushed with character rather than mental emotion.
We resist excuses.
Hold ourselves accountable for our actions.
We are successful through honesty.
Humility, and pursuit of intellectual excellence.
We are loyal to our family.
We are our brother's keeper. We are committed to our community. We are servants of mankind. We have
The audacity to hope. We have the audacity to succeed. We are the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy. All right. Guess we'll play
School
this.
song.
High character, honesty, humility, excuses, audiences. We are loyal to our family. Committed to our community. Servants of time and loyalty. We have the capacity to hope and succeed. We are the brothers of Barack Obama. Leadership Academy. We have the audacity to hope and succeed. We have the audacity to believe, achieve, succeed. We are the brothers of Barack Obama. Male Leadership Academy. Believe, achieve, succeed.
Silence. You may be seated.
All right, let's give it up for these three brothers right here. Two of them was their first time, so that's excellent leadership right there. So I'm getting a lot of, and it's great, don't get me wrong, it's great. A lot of sixth graders are always asking me, hey, Mr. Akron, can I leave today? Can I leave today? And that's great. But tomorrow, I'm gonna ask a ninth grader to come up and lead us. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I see some ninth graders kind of near with Mr. Strausser and Mr. Zohar. So ninth grade brothers, tomorrow, it's going to be on you to lead us in Lyceum. Okay? All right. So, line 8, we are our brother's keeper. So we're going to be focusing on this for the rest of the month, as you know. So I've talked about this enough, but additionally, what I would like is that if we can get another either a teacher or a student, I'm not going to put you on the spot right now, but someone else tell us what does this line mean to you? So, you know, in fact, I'll give you guys, I think we could come up with something. I gave you about 30 seconds. If you can think of something, it doesn't have to be anything long or anything like that, but what does this line mean to you? Our brother's keeper. So I'll give you 30 seconds, think about it, and then when you have something, and if you want to say, just come on down. All right, so let's take 30 seconds. Tell me what this line means to you, and we'll go from there. All right. So, who's that? Maurice? All right. And I can't see who you are, but someone had their hand up as well. Caleb, is that you? All right. So,
My name is Garrett. And I think being a brother's keeper is like, if you're in class and like your brother doesn't have a pencil, you can give him a pencil, or like they need help carrying something, like they're carrying too much stuff, like just to give them help him.
all right. All right. Okay.
House of the Creek, 8th grade. And what I think being a brother keeper is I'm saying encourage them to do the right thing. Like if you see them doing something bad, you tell them like stop, you tell the teacher, and I'm saying just encourage them to do the best they can.
Very good. All right. So, you know that tomorrow is it's going to be an A day. So, I'd like to get at least maybe we got a 6th grade, a 7th grade, 8th grade, and a 9th grade brother. I'm not sure if the 10th grade also here as well. Yeah. So, one from at least one from each grade level here to talk about the line. So you got the whole day, 24 hours, to think about what this line means to you, and then tomorrow we'll love to hear what you have to say. All right. We do have a birthday today, so let's give it up for these brothers. Brother Luis Castillo, 9th grade, and Brother Jose Cruzado, 10th grade. So, I don't know if you're here now, so happy birthday. Hopefully you all have a great day today, for the rest of the week. Give them an elbow bump, a fist bump, if you see any of these brothers. That'll be really cool. All right. All right, so we'll pause it there. And I have an announcement. This is for the juniors and the seniors. I posted this on the Leadership Lounge. It's a job fair where you can
on April 27th, I forgot what day that is, but from 10 to 3, scan the QR code, and it's a virtual job fair where you can maybe get a job over the summer. So juniors, seniors, go check on the Leadership Lounge. Scan the QR code, and you'll get more information. Okay? All right, so that's it from me. Do I have any other announcements from the faculty here? I'm gonna stop sharing. Is there anyone on the Zoom call who has an announcement? No. Well,
All right then, Mr. Jackson, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashburn. And thank you all for leading Lyceum, those sixth grade brothers. And we do want to make sure that we have other brothers coming on up and demonstrating the leadership that they, just the leadership capacity that they also have. So we want y'all to be an example for the brothers that are younger than you. And then also, you can look at the sixth graders, they're setting an example. So maybe you just need a little refresher. And again, thank you, Mr. Akbar, for jumping up here and leading Lyceum. It's really important that it's not just me up here. I don't want to be the only person that's up here leading Lyceum. Next year, I will continue to lead Lyceum. My goal is just to lead Lyceum on Monday and Tuesdays only. And then the other days, I will have everyone else leading Lyceum. All right, so before we dismiss you all, I just want to remind you all, I'm not expecting anyone in this room to be perfect. When I wake up in the morning, I know I'm not perfect, and throughout the day, I constantly remind myself that I'm not perfect. But I do want y'all to make sure that you're doing your best. So we will have a team of cameras in the building. I told them they should be able to talk to any brother in the building, any staff member in the building, and you all will be a fine representative of the school. So some of you all are class ambassadors, and you all are ambassadors when we give tours, but everyone in this building has the same expectation, and I'm sure that you all would be excellent representatives of the campus. All right, so before we...
Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Dover?
Just a reminder, we're going to do the Sandy Hook training today.
Oh, okay, excellent, okay. Well, thank you very much. So any other announcements before we do the training? We'll have Mr. Dover leading that training. All right, Mr. Dover, I'll hand it on over to you. Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, good morning, brothers. Today, we're going to talk about a new system that the district is using that is going to be an online tool where you can really be your brother's keeper and the keeper of your own safety and self. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to watch the training video, and then we will I'll address any questions that you might have.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm from Sandy Hook Promise.
Welcome. I'm Brandon Rainey from Sandy Hook Promise.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jordan, and I'm a sophomore at Hickory Ridge High School in Harrisburg, North Carolina. I'm also a National Youth Advisory Board member for Sandy Hook Promise's SAVE Promise Clubs. SAVE stands for Students Against Violence Everywhere.
Hi, my name is Drew. I'm a senior at Cutler Bay Senior High in Cutler Bay, Florida. Like Jordan, I'm also a National Youth Advisory Board member for Sandy Hook Promise's SAVE Promise Clubs.
We're here to talk to you about the Say Something anonymous reporting system, which will help you to save lives by empowering you to prevent shootings, violence, suicide, and other harmful acts in your school and community. Let's hear from Jordan about a time when saying something saved lives.
I'm going to tell you a story about a student. As a freshman, she attended a Sandy Hook Promise Say Something training session. Because of what she learned at the training, she knew she should say something if she witnessed anything that was a serious threat. A few weeks later, a boy in her class posted a picture on social media with a gun in his hand, warning students not to come to school the following day because he was going to shoot it up. The kids at school were posting all over social media, warning their friends about how they were scared to go to school the next day. The student who attended the Say Something training, she made the choice to say something to a trusted adult. She took a screenshot of the post and showed it to her teacher right away. At first, she felt a little awkward and uneasy to talk with her teacher about this scary information, but she knew it was too important not to take seriously, and that she had to say something to an adult immediately. Afterwards, her teacher assured her that she did the right thing. Because she reported the threat, the school and the police were able to get involved before anyone was harmed. To this day, that student thinks about how terrible and tragic the situation could have played out if she hadn't taken action, if she didn't say something. By saying something, she helped save lives.
Today, you will learn 3 steps that will help you keep your friends and classmates safe from hurting themselves or someone else, simply by saying something. Step 1, recognize warning signs and threats. Step number 2, when you observe a sign or threat, act immediately and take it seriously. And step 3, say something to a trusted adult. Use a Say Something anonymous reporting system or call 911 in an emergency. Using these 3 steps will empower you to help keep your school safe and to get help for people who need it. Before we jump into each step, I want to emphasize that overall, schools are safe. Your teachers, administrators, and staff are continuously working to ensure your school is safe as possible. However, schools are not immune to shootings, violence, suicide, and threats. There's still a possibility that these things can happen. That's why we're here today, to teach you 3 steps that you can use to help keep your school safe.
First, let's look at some numbers about violence, suicide, and threats that impact you. 20% of students report being bullied. 17% of students seriously consider suicide. 59% of students ages 14 to 17 have witnessed community violence in their life. That means, on average, well over half of you have witnessed violence somewhere outside of school. This could mean you saw a fight, someone getting robbed, or even a shooting. On average, there are 20 school shootings per year that kill or injure at least one person. We may not hear about all of them, but during this school year, we can expect about 20 schools in this country to have a shooting. I'm going to tell you 2 stories to illustrate these numbers. Here's the first story. The student who posted this couldn't get over a breakup with her boyfriend. He broke up with her just before Valentine's Day. She started coming to school late and cutting her classes. Then she failed 2 of her classes in the first semester. Even though she'd been a star softball player for years, she quit the team and started talking about how meaningless life was. Then she posted this image on Instagram, saying she wanted to end her pain altogether. This is an example of a warning sign of someone who is thinking of hurting themselves. Here's the second story. The student who posted this was getting bullied every week by a group of older students. He became severely depressed, started hating school, and began researching weapons and school shooters. He started to draw pictures of guns and death on his schoolwork. Just before Thanksgiving vacation, he posted, "Don't come to school tomorrow if you want to live." This is an example of a warning sign of someone who may be considering harming others.
As you can see from these stories, people can show warning signs before they hurt themselves or others. This means that when you see a warning sign, you have the power to help. Here are a few important numbers. According to a study by the U.S. Secret Service National Threat Assessment Center, 100% of school attackers in their study exhibited warning signs before they carried out their attack. An attack is defined as a current or former student who planned to physically hurt or kill at least one student or staff member. In each instance, they gave verbal, physical, or virtual signs that they were planning to hurt or kill people. For example, they posted on social media or try to recruit others to help them. Recognizing these warning signs mean that you can get help to stop the attack before it happens. When it comes to cyberbullying, that means bullying people online using text or social media. 59% of teens report being cyberbullied. If you see that someone is being bullied online, this means that you can stop it from happening. And young people who self-harm, which means they intentionally hurt themselves, are more likely to tell a peer and seek help from a friend rather than an adult. This means that if one of your friends is thinking of hurting themselves, for instance, by cutting themselves or considering suicide, they are more likely to tell you than an adult. If you see or hear that someone may hurt themselves, you are in a position to get the person help. You are the eyes and ears of your school.
Now I'm going to talk more specifically about what you can look out for. This is step 1, recognize warning signs and threats.
So what is a warning sign? A warning sign is something a person says or does that shows they may be planning to harm themselves or others. Here are some examples of warning signs a person may be planning to harm others. I want to emphasize, though, that this is not a list of every warning sign. Being obsessed with weapons or school shootings, talking about hurting other people, talking or posting about an upcoming attack, and bringing a weapon to school.
Here are some examples of warning signs a person may be planning to harm themselves. Feeling like things will never get better. Talking about wanting to die. Talking about a plan to die. And cutting or burning themselves.
Here are examples of warning signs that a person may be in crisis, which is when someone is going through something that is overwhelming and they need help. Big changes in personality or appearance. For instance, a friend who is usually happy is now frequently angry and aggressive. Withdrawal from friends and activities. For instance, a friend who hangs out with you almost every day after school, but now goes directly home to be alone. Refusing to go to school or skipping school a lot. Being physically or verbally abused. For instance, a friend who tells you his father hits him every time he fails a test. These are all warning signs.
Other warning signs that someone may be in crisis include being bullied or bullying others based on real or perceived differences, including any of the following: race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, disability, and body type.
As you've just learned, there are many warning signs we can watch out for. We also have to be aware of threats. So what is a threat? A threat is when a person communicates that they intend to harm themselves or others. Someone might say a threat, write a threat, or post a threat on social media. Here are some examples of threats to others. I'm going to take them all out. They will regret they ever met me. Here are some examples of suicidal threats. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to end it all. Where are these warning signs and threats found? Anywhere and everywhere. For example, you can find them in a school, in places like classrooms, the hallways, and the cafeteria, as well as outside of the school in places like the bus, at home, at parties, and at sporting events.
Social media is a main source of warning signs and threats. It's where so many students go to make a threat or express their feelings, including anger, anxiety, or depression. And what we know is that adults aren't on the same social media platforms we are, so they aren't seeing everything we see. That's why it's so important to learn how to recognize when someone needs help. You are the eyes and ears of your school. Let's look at some examples on social media.
This student texts, anything has to be better than this, living like this. This is a warning sign that someone may be at risk of hurting themselves. This student posts, it's over for all of you. This student is making a threat and at risk of hurting others. This student writes, I know a big secret about her. She's planning to reveal something private about a classmate. This is bullying, and it is a warning sign.
Now, in your activity guide or on a separate piece of paper, I want you to write down 3 examples of warning signs that you just learned. Pause the video now and hit play when you're finished.
Now that you know step 1, how to recognize warning signs and threats, let's learn about step number 2. Act immediately and take it seriously. Act immediately when you see or hear a warning sign or threat and get help. It's essential to act immediately because all too often, no one acts at all.
It's important to acknowledge that it can be difficult to act immediately. Here are some reasons that people may give when they don't act immediately. She's too young to hurt herself. I thought someone else would do something about it, or he just wants attention. My friend will be mad at me. My friend won't trust me anymore. My mom told me to stay out of other people's business. Acting immediately can be difficult, but just because it may be difficult doesn't mean it's an excuse for doing nothing. Not taking warning signs seriously and failing to act immediately could result in tragic consequences for you, your friends, and your classmates. You are doing something brave when you act immediately to help a friend or classmate. Helping them is more important than them being mad at you.
One of the biggest reasons that can stop you from acting immediately is that you'll be called a snitch. But there's a big difference between snitching and saying something. When you snitch on someone, you're trying to get someone in trouble for your own gain. When you say something, you're getting someone help for their own safety and protecting others from harm. Saying something is simply about getting someone help.
Remember, it's important that if you see warning signs and threats, you act immediately and take it seriously. Be an upstander, someone who helps a person in danger of hurting themselves or others, and not a bystander, someone who sees warning signs and threats and does nothing. When you're an upstander, you have the opportunity to save someone's life. Now, in your activity guide or on a separate piece of paper, write down 2 reasons someone may not act immediately. Pause the video now and hit play when you're finished.
All right, so you guys don't have paper or an activity guide, but we'll take about 30 seconds to let that resonate with you. You can think internally, what are 2 reasons somebody may not act immediately? All right, motto. We're gonna play the video again.
After you recognize warning signs or threats, act immediately and take it seriously. The third and final step is to say something to a trusted adult. Use the Say Something anonymous reporting system or call 911 in an emergency. I want to highlight that you should always say something if a friend or classmate is displaying warning signs or communicating threats. Also, if you recognize that you are displaying any of these warning signs, you should say something to a trusted adult. Trusted adults are adults who listen to you and take your concerns seriously. You are the best judge of the trusted adults in your life.
Your trusted adults can be a lot of different people. They could be your teacher, a school administrator, your school counselor, or your coach. And there are lots of different types of coaches. You could have a basketball coach, a drama coach, or a chess coach. Your trusted adult could also be someone outside of school as well. Your parent or guardian, a mentor, for instance, a family friend you can talk to, a family member or a community leader. For example, a religious leader like a priest or a pastor. I want to emphasize that this is not a full list of trusted adults. These are just a few examples. There may be other people in your life that are your trusted adult that are not included here. And it's important that you know who your trusted adults are right now. That way, if you see warning signs or threats, you'll know who to go to immediately. It can be hard to have these conversations, so let's look at a strategy you can use that might help you with these conversations. First, tell your trusted adult who you are concerned about. You can use this language to start the conversation. I'm concerned about. For example, I'm concerned about my friend. The second part is to describe what warning signs or threats you are seeing and bring any texts, videos, or pictures you may have. You can use the word because to start to describe why you are concerned. For example, I'm concerned about my friend because he's being bullied. The last part is to tell your trusted adult what you would like their help with. You can use the language, and I need your help to explain what you would like them to do. For example, I'm concerned about my friend because he's being bullied and I need your help to make it stop. To summarize, you can use this language to help you talk with your trusted adult. I'm concerned about, because, and I need your help too.
Your next activity has 2 parts. First, write down who your trusted adult is and 2 reasons why they're your trusted adult. Second, within the next week, tell your trusted adult 1 reason why you chose them to be your trusted adult. Pause the video now and
All right, so let's take about 30 seconds to think about that one as well. So think about who is your trusted adult in your life. Remember, it can be a parent, it can be a coach, a counselor. Right, motto. Very good. So I hope you were able to identify your trusted adult. Within the next week, tell your trusted adult why you chose them to be your trusted adult. And it's always good for us to know that we are your trusted adult as well, so we can know to be checking in with you as well. We're gonna keep on going.
in the next week, tell your trusted adult 1 reason why you chose them to be your trusted adult. Pause the video now and hit play when you're finished.
Now, let's talk about 911. You should only call 911 when there's an emergency and then tell a trusted adult. An emergency is when someone needs help right away because they are injured or in immediate danger. Now, I know calling 911 may seem difficult. You may be nervous because you've never called 911 before or worried about giving the right information. Also, sometimes people are concerned of what's going to happen when they call 911. For instance, I have a friend who's had bad experiences with the police, and they're concerned about how the police might react if they call 911. I have another friend who has struggled with mental health, and they told me they're reluctant to call 911 because they're worried whoever responds may not understand their needs. This is why we want to provide you some more guidance about when to call 911. Call 911 when there's an emergency. This is when someone needs help right away because they are injured or in immediate danger. Here are examples of emergencies when you should call 911 first and then tell a trusted adult. Someone threatens to kill people and shows you a weapon. Someone threatens to take their own life and has access to pills or a weapon. Or someone is unconscious. Here are some examples of situations that are not emergencies. Someone stops coming to school. Still tell a trusted adult. If someone is very upset and angry, but not threatening anyone, still tell a trusted adult. Someone looks different than you. For instance, there's no emergency if you see someone shopping at the mall who just happens to be a different race than you. If you have questions about when to call 911, talk with your trusted adult.
You just learned how to say something to a trusted adult or call 911. But what if your trusted adult is unavailable or you're not comfortable telling an adult and it's not an emergency? Use the Say Something anonymous reporting system. The Say Something anonymous reporting system is completely anonymous, so you don't have to give any information about yourself if you don't want to. You can submit a tip if you recognize warning signs in a friend or classmate, and you can also submit a tip if you recognize warning signs in yourself and need to talk with someone. The Say Something anonymous reporting system works by simply submitting your concern using the app, telephone hotline, or website, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A trained crisis counselor will respond to you immediately. Our crisis counselors care about helping you, are always available to listen to your concerns and take action about anything you share with them.
To use the app, download it to your phone or mobile device. Search for Say Something Anonymous Reporting System in either Google Play or the App Store. Next time you have your phone, remember to download the app. Once you've downloaded the app, open it on your mobile device. The first time you launch the app, you will need to create your own numeric passcode. Then you can sign in. If you forgot your passcode, you can create a new one. Simply go to the menu on the top left corner of the app's homepage, select Reset Passcode, and create a new one. Here's a short video that shows you how easy it is to use the Say Something Anonymous reporting system.
Once you've downloaded the app, open it on your mobile device. The first time you launch the app, you will need to create your own numeric passcode. Then you can sign in. Next is to locate your school within the app. Select the concern from the menu that you would like to address. You will then be asked to type in details about your concern. Finally, upload any photos, videos, or sound files related to your concern, and then hit submit. You will be able to have an anonymous two-way conversation with a crisis counselor to ensure they have all the information they need to get help for the individual you're concerned about. You will also get a case number so you can log back in at a later time and add more information if you want. If you want to submit a tip on the website, first go to saysomething.net. Once there, select the Submit a Tip icon and then complete the form. If you'd prefer to submit a tip over the phone, call 1-844-5-SAY-NOW or 1-844-572-9669. A crisis counselor will be standing by to take your call and will work with you to gather the necessary information. At the end of the call, you'll receive a tip number and password that will allow you to log in online and provide additional information that you may have about your tip, as well as exchange private messages requesting additional anonymous information. It's as easy as that. Thanks to your anonymous tip, the crisis counselor will work with the appropriate people in your school or community and act on your tip and intervene as needed. Our crisis center counselors are caring, experienced, and helpful. They will listen to your concerns and will work with the adults in your school community to get help. The crisis center counselors are always available, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You should contact the crisis center if you or anyone you know is displaying warning signs.
Today, you learned the 3 steps to the Say Something Anonymous reporting system. Step 1, recognize warning signs and threats.
Step 2, act immediately and take these warning signs seriously.
Step 3, say something to a trusted adult. Use the Say Something Anonymous reporting system or call 911 in an emergency. By bringing the 3 steps of the Say Something Anonymous reporting system into our day-to-day lives, we as students will be able to reduce violence and threats in our schools and make our schools and communities a better place to be. We have the power to make a difference in the world around us just by saying something.
If you would like to be more involved with helping to keep your school safe, I encourage you to join or start a Save Promise Club. Save Promise Clubs are free, student-led clubs that are in schools across the country. Save Promise Clubs take an active role in keeping their classmates safe and building safer schools. Here's a short video to learn more.
School shootings.
Violence.
Loneliness.
Hate.
Suicide.
As one student,
You might not know what you can do. Here's what you can do.
Start or join a Save Promise Club.
Students Against Violence Everywhere, Save Promise Clubs, are kindergarten through 12th grade school and community-based organizations.
Led by students for students, encouraging young people to take charge of keeping their friends, schools, and communities safe.
We lead student-driven activities that educate and empower our classmates.
So we can build socially inclusive student communities and be upstanders.
We educate our schools and communities about Sandy Hook Promises Start With Hello and Say Something programs. We organize a Start With Hello week in September and a Say Something week in March, and work to make these programs a part of our school's culture.
We engage the school community with special national events like the Save Summit, Save Day, and National Youth Violence Prevention Week.
Save Promise Clubs are the most important club you'll ever join. We create unity and are like a family. We give each other a sense of belonging to something, and that's powerful.
So if you only join one club this year,
Make it a Save Promise Club.
it could be
The most important club
You'll ever join.
why should we say something?
Why should you say something? You see and hear things that others don't.
Why should you say something? You can reduce violence, suicide, and threats. If you say something, you can save a life of a friend or a classmate.
As a final activity, write down the 3 say something steps. Pause the video now and hit play when you're finished. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the Say Something anonymous reporting system. Being a student means you are uniquely positioned to influence and support the community around you. You can stand up for your school, your peers, and your friends and say something. Thank you.
Right, excellent. I love the enthusiasm towards this topic. So this is a system that is open to any Dallas ISD student. So especially here for our brothers at Barack Obama, you can use this app, or you can use it on the telephone, or you can use it virtually on your laptop to give any tips to the organization, but more importantly to people here, trusted adults here on campus. So we are notified when there is a tip put in on one of our students, and that way we can intervene and ensure that everybody remains safe, supported, and healthy. So that is going to be it for the presentation today. I'll turn it back over to Mr. Akbar or Mr. Jackson, whoever is in Lyceum at this moment in time.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dover. Thank you for sharing that important video. And let me just open it one last time. Are there any other announcements? Yes, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, Honors Physics, Honors Chemistry. Traditionally at Obama on Fridays, you guys are allowed to wear jeans, but this week doesn't end on a Friday. So I talked with Mr. Jackson, and he is allowing NHS, the National Junior Honor Society, or National Honor Society, to sell jeans passes tomorrow and on Thursday morning, so you guys can wear jeans on Thursday. So it's $1, you can wear jeans, so you can kind of act like it's a Friday, even though it's not a Friday, I'll give you $1 to buy that. So jeans with a spirit shirt or a house shirt. All right.
That's great news for everybody. All right. Is there any other announcement before I turn it back to Mr. Jackson? Okay then.
Thank you, Mr. Akbar. I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. So, Mr. Anderson, what we're doing is you're selling Jeep passes on Wednesday and Thursday, but the jeans can only be worn on Thursday. All right, so just to make sure there was no mix-up. So you can purchase the jean pass tomorrow or Thursday, but the only day to wear the jeans will be on Thursday. didn't want to send that mixed message out there. All right, any other announcements, you all? All right, so teachers, I will dismiss the teachers, and I'll see you all in the hallways and the classroom. Thank you all.